The mentality part of Smash, I think, is the hardest part. It's what separates, I think, a lot of the the levels of players. Because like some people can press buttons well, but they don't have the rest of the mentality part figured out. So then they're just kind of sitting there and they're trying to figure out the rest of it.
Well, speaking of mentalities, here is one of the people in ATATA who I think has one of the best mentalities in all of Smashy Bros. The champ is in the house against Revolver, multiple-time tournament champion here at pretty much everything we've ever had to offer in Illinois. These two are no stranger to this spot.
I would not be surprised if this is the grand finals right back.
I wouldn't either. Like, both of these players pretty much always have that capability. ATATA is a nationally recognized talent. I should say internationally recognized, one of the best Nesses in the world.
Yeah.
Revolver's getting to that point where he's one of the best Roys to do it right now as well.
Yeah.
Doing really well in not only Chicago events, but also like at much larger events. And he's been more and more consistent, more and more climbing the ladder to get to that point, put himself in that conversation. So I love watching these players kind of duke it out. I think this was our last Ignite Grands. I think. So I'm just not surprised to see them play.
Yeah, no, that's not surprise. I mean, I personally would say that these are, excluding Ned right now, our two best players. Off the consistency and the way they've been playing at not just Chicago events right now, these guys are doing very good outside of the scene, picking up a lot of wins. And like you said, I mean, ATATA's been top 100 almost every season now since the new rankings have came out.
When he's active here, he's been #1.
Yes.
And that's just, and when he hasn't been, he hasn't been active here. That's just kind of how it's been. We have a rotating, revolving door of like the Elite Four of Chicago in my head, which is any combination of Icon, ATATA, Ned, and Samty.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a couple players, Ice Knight and Revolver are the two notable ones right now who are knocking at the door.
I think, though, you have those four.
And Raven King.
Yeah, and then
don't forget Ryan.
I think like those 7 are very different from the rest of the pack, and they all continuously prove that. And I think there's a lot of people that are knocking on like each of those doors, like the bottom 3 to the top 4, or a couple other people to the group of 3. But those are the consistent 7 that, when they are all competing in the scene, it's the healthiest, it's the best sets, best tournaments we're getting.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. I wish they were all active at the same time locally, but they have larger aspirations at the moment in some cases, and global aspirations in our World Warriors case, running around winning regionals in France just because he happened to, and I quote, be in the area. That's my GOAT.
He is one of the greatest people at talk at events. I love seeing Icon.
Yeah.
And then, like, even when he's a down season, doesn't matter. He's still there. He'll still go to France and win.
He pretty much single-handedly revitalized my love of this game when we came back from quarantine.
I mean,
and I have been ride or die for Smash now because he instilled that in me. However, we do have a game to talk about between two other people who, that last one, I know we kind of got off on a tangent there, and that's okay, because that last game was kind of a rough one. There were a couple of unfortunate stock deaths there from Revolver, where like he lost a jump or like died to a PK fire at like a rough angle. And like, obviously props to ATATA for putting him in that position in the first place, but there probably shouldn't have necessarily been kills and rather just been like more damage.
Yeah, I mean, like the PK Thunders were rough there, but changing up the stage to Smashville, this is not a surprise. See, Revolver, just the way he plays, very sharking heavy. So
yep.
Being able to sit under a platform, and if ATATA jumps, he's already committing to. Revolver just has to react and find that hit.
I have a different perspective on Ness and the way that he is. This is not a stage I would ever bring Ness to. And the reason why is because when you are being sharked as Ness, but there's only one platform, that means your opponent is going to be somewhere on what is kind of a narrow stage. And I look at it as Ness has such good run-off ledge landing aerial options that it's really easy to make a mistake and get punished to the point of you lose your stock for having center stage. So I just never bring him here. I want more stage against him.
Yeah. See, I've found that a lot of Ness players like to have the dual platform stages, so they can do the B reverse or wave bounce PK fires and maybe catch you trying to hold the center of the stage.
Oh yeah, your small battlefields, your PS2s.
Right. So I've still struggled to find stages that Ness players don't like.
Yeah, I mean, Ness is a much better character than people have ever given him credit for. He's been dominant in multiple different regions over the course of 5 years, a lot of them still going strong, ATATA probably being one of 3 of the most notable cases on Earth of that, where, oh, you're competing, then you're dominating. It's like, obviously the character can do it. You're right, he doesn't have a lot of bad stages for the way that the list currently is. But I do get Revolver's perspective here also. It's like, hey, I'm Roy, and this is a tiny stage. Here's jab, bear, you're dead at 70. Or like, I can control the whole stage with my sword, like so, from pretty much anywhere. Like, if you can short hop and drift with the sword at almost any point in the stage to force a possible bad option from your opponent, maybe it's better for Roy than it is for Ness in this case.
I also think, looking at the play styles of these two, this definitely feels like a Revolver counter pick, because I don't think there'd be any other stages that he would probably be looking at going.
I love watching Revolver play, because his style to me is, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with this sword, and there isn't like an in-between. There's not like I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna do this thing. No, I'm gonna hit you with this sword because my button is good. And look at this. Once I hit you with the sword, you're gonna be in a world of pain.
See, bringing that up, I mean, it always reminds me of like when he played Cloud against Toad and then just did limit up B 20 times.
See, as a TO, this is an aside, but as a TO, 2 players that I feel like I'm legally obligated to root for at all times are Revolver and Arctis, because I know that their sets aren't going to take 20 minutes no matter what.
Correct.
Like, it helps when you want to, like, go home or you have a time limit.
Hey, sometimes Team Bracket can't always win.
Yeah, Team Bracket is full of excellent players, fortunately, in Chicago. Like, we do not have a region where every character is projectile-y.
I do say it a lot, because Chicago will like go out of region and then like lose to somewhat common characters, but characters that are not common in Chicago, like Pac-Man, and then we're just like, we just kind of have to hold it.
We do. Last stock scenario here, Revolver can kind of swing away, like, oh, I hit a falling up air.
Yeah.
That could have killed. Oh, I hit a falling bear. Even forward air from here at 166. Sweet spot fair would probably kill.
I think even an up throw at this percent, if he is able to find the grab.
There's the fair. I would never try to grab a Ness for any reason. Like, that's such a schmicks against that character, because, like, how often is he grounded? Like, a Ness player against Roy, you can't really sit on ground when you're in neutral state, or even when you're, like, in disadvantage. Obviously, you're in disadvantage, but, like, your nair is really good for you. Your fair is really good for you. Your fair is a sword. Like, Ness's fair is a sword. And we've joked about this for forever. Like, he's a sword character.
He's got the disjoint. I mean, his aerials it is extremely hard to contest unless you have a disjoint for yourself. That's why, I mean, you'll see some people just play Lucina or like the other sorties into Ness from time to time. Even if it's not their actual main, maybe even just a counter pick. But I mean, we literally saw that with Samty. Samty never used Lucina for any other character.
Yeah, but it's Ness's worst matchup, and it's a tougher one otherwise when you're playing somebody of ATATA's caliber, especially. You got to give yourself the best chance you have to win, right? Yeah. Ness is really cool. I'm sorry. Like, I know a lot of people will say, like, oh, you know, Ness as a character, like, the gameplay can be a little mashy or whatever. Now, Ness is awesome. And whenever he does the hype stuff is always so hype. That is a rough air dodge. Unfortunate there for ATATA.
ATATA is a player you don't see SD a lot as well. I mean, his control of the character, he's able to make it back from situations that average Ness would have no shot at making it back.
I can't remember the last time I saw him do that. I genuinely forgot that was possible until it just happened. Like, you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's so consistent with, like, his recovery. That was strange.
Ness is a character that, like, a lot of the times, even, like, the high-level reps will just SD sometimes because, you know, maybe they don't hit their angles, maybe they magnet stall, just use their jump too fast. And you don't see ATATA do that almost ever. Okay. I saw it in that first set on the second game or last game, second stock.
Yep.
Up air.
Falling up air?
Falling up air and the strong hit of it. ATATA has almost nothing he can do. Where if a Revolver is just sitting on the platform and do a drop down up air and then another short hop up air, he's almost free to just swing again.
I am going to point out that on the counter pick, ATATA went right back to Smashville.
No, I think you were 100% right. I think a lot of Nesses favor this stage. This is one of those stages, like, normally, the more I think about it, it's an auto ban every time I play a Ness. Be like this, small battlefield,
And Battlefield.
yeah. That's usually my auto bans against this character here. But the way Revolver has been playing, again, just being able to press falling up air at all, and then because it's Roy, you're able to either press a back air or something else instantly after if ATATA tries to swing.
And we got the Gimp there, too. So, like, that evens out what happened up from the SD. So we're pretty relatively even this game. I see ATATA, right? Like, and think to myself, oh, the opponent's at 5. This is an even game. Like,
I always think of the Mute set.
yeah, the Mute set's a good one to think of. I forget what set it was. It was one of the grands that he won where he was at like 80 and the opponent was at 0, and he hit like from ledge. He hit up air, up air, up air, up air, and when they landed, he just hit him with like a magnet combo and killed them. And I was just like, oh yeah, so they were dead from 0 and they were an advantage. But Revolver is going to clutch out that game and make sure that that gifted stock is not going to go to waste.
Nope. Again, something that you don't get from ATATA a lot of the time here. He has to take it for full credit, and now we're seeing Revolver up 2-1 here in Winter Semis.
Hey man, we're all human. People are going to make mistakes. That's why we play best of 5 this far in a bracket.
Correct. Best of 5. More chances to make mistakes, but more chances to fix it. Did they run it right back?
They went to, yeah, they ran it right back.
Interesting.
It's not even surprising. Like, they both probably see the, so now that we're sitting at a 2-1 Revolver lead, we're going to see if ATATA has the capability to run this back and bring the set back, or make the losers run. But like you said earlier, wouldn't be surprised if this was a Grands preview.
Right.
Both these players are definitely capable. Revolver has a history of making incredibly good runs at Tripoints, and ATATA is just one of the most naturally gifted players we've ever seen in the city of Chicago. So.
Yeah. Ooh, that PK flash was kind of scary there.
Oh, the home run bat. Not going to take the stock, but close. And he is going to follow up with the conversion.
That was a crazy combo.
Yeah, like
it went from coast to coast.
Yeah, Revolver was at 30 and playing neutral, got hit one time, and that was kind of how it ended. Just really good coverage from ATATA. The solid jab. Oh, here we go again. Going for the double. Oh, he goes for the magnet, and he gets it. Double PK fire magnet bear.
I've seen that set up too many times in the Twitter clip. I knew what was happening there.
And it's just as filthy every time.
We are a minute into this game, and I'm not going to say it's cooked yet, but ATATA is very close to finishing this out.
Listen, Team Bracket doesn't always have to be the two players I just named. This is just a matchup I would want to see late at night in the bracket, straight up.
There's a lot of different matchups you can get in the Chicago area that I think are like a consistent match. But watching these two play, I mean, again, they just pilot their characters so well. Especially, I mean, ATATA, like we just saw there, being able to even just pull out the magnet combos. He knows what he's doing. He's played this character forever. But
Revolver taking the stock, but like, you're living to 170% against Roy.
On Smashville.
On Smashville. So not only are you hitting the crazy clip combos, but you're also living forever. That is a good combination for you. And yeah, that'll do it. That is how Revolver lost game 1, as I recall, as well. It was the same thing. When we were talking about
just as fast.
Yeah. Here we go, game 5 in a set that is faster than most 3-game sets.
I think it's already faster than the 4 games that we just watched right before this.
Well, yeah, we had two linky projectile-y characters.
Yeah.
The big guy and the little guy, and now all of a sudden we have Fire Swordsman and PK Nessman beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah. No, I mean, the way both of them play, it's haymaker, haymaker, haymaker. They're both slowly fishing for a clip, and ATATA's always fishing for the clip. And he's never not. I've never not seen him just go for a magnet combo.
You have to farm the TikTok interactions. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
The background music just reminds me of any comedy movie. Like, it shouldn't, but like I would picture this music playing when somebody was getting hard trolled in any comedy movie. because it would be funny. All right, here we go. Game 5 between two of the most consistently strong bracket players in bracket. So I'm not surprised this went Game 5.
No.
A very back and forth set. Mostly Smashville.
Yeah.
I think Game 1 was PS2, and then they were just like, nah, this is what we want to be doing.
I mean, it's a easy pick for them because they've both been trading everything here.
They're enjoying it.
Exactly. Just good Smash.
It is good Smash. As we saw the jab lock combo into home run bat again, and once again, Roy living like barely from the home run bat. But the first time when ATATA was able to seal out the stock immediately after, this time Revolver living a little bit longer, got an extra like 9% on it. All right, here we go. Making it back without losing that stock. This is huge for Revolver. Every little bit here because of the position he was in.
Loser of this match does go fall down to play Ice Knight in the loser's quarters.
ATATA gonna seal the stock. Neither one of them quite yet thinking about what's next. We may be, but they're fully focused right now as Revolver looking for any way to seal this out without taking mass damage before that.
Right.
Get the Ness off stage. Hasn't quite been able to hit those neutral Bs. Roy's neutral B is weird. Like, obviously you go for it because it's pretty much lagless, but you're also very rarely going to hit it. I feel like hitting that is more on account of your opponent recovering bad than it is your timing.
No, it definitely is. ATATA does like to kind of sit around the ledge and maybe not grab it right away, especially with the PK Thunders. So I think that's the idea of throwing it out because the hitbox for neutral B is, like you said, it's kind of funny. But if it was almost any other character that didn't have a move like PK Thunder or up air, Revolver would most certainly be daring right there.
Revolver has hit, I think, 4 soft spots in a row now. And this is an unfortunate time for that. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunate, because really that is ATATA spacing well around it as well.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of sour spots in a row when you need the stock with the character that you're playing.
Yeah, and I think that's also kind of the issue of going for the neutral Bs against Ness, is it's very easy with these projectiles to just kind of poke you out.
All right, Revolver going to get the short hop up air, and that was like an angry short hop up air, like a, man, you've been sharking on that platform for 2.5 minutes, get up here and box me.
It's like, this is really how I gotta take it? Like this?
Well, he's doing what he should be doing. Like, if you're Ness with a lead Game 5 against, like, Roy can't go out there.
Right.
And look how much damage ATATA racked up from doing that. It was like 60, 70 damage, somewhere in that realm. I mean, of course you want to do that.
Just off of, you weren't in an advantage at all, but you were just hitting projectiles.
But the Jer at 75% going to take the stock, and Revolver, who was getting sharked forever, said, you know what, I'll take a stock in 20 seconds. Here's how you do it.
The moment ATATA came back on stage from that second stock, or for that second stock.
That was such a good recovery. Hit away the PK Thunder into up B a little higher so that the yo-yo won't kill him instantly. Like, yes, he'll die, but getting the extra damage there is huge. Here we go, Stock of Champions. Game 5, last stock. Little bit of extra credit there. Revolver's favor at the moment, but this is the kind of stage and pair of characters where you could lose a stock at any time at any percent.
Yep. Revolver has done such a good job here, like in this game, after looking so bad there at the start, of just sharking, hitting the right aerials, essentially taking every single hit for full credit.
Getting the grab again. I've noticed Revolver really not opting for jabs at ledge. Maybe he's saving it for when it's going to guaranteed work, like right now. Dash up jab. Oh, no, really good spacing. Get back there.
Also might just be conditioning to actually hit the jab, so now that he's grabbed about 3 times, forces ATATA to not shield.
Well, ATATA's been coming up aggressively, like with up airs and such off ledge. So now Revolver's kind of spacing around that so that it doesn't happen in between the jabs. Ooh, can't convert off that one jab. All right, hits the tech this time. You missed the last couple techs. You don't want to lose the set because of 3 missed techs in a row. Ooh, ATATA went in for the read, but now you're off stage. Oh, right up into the yo-yo, and that is going to take the set. I think he assumed that the yo-yo would dangle off stage, but ATATA positioned that in such a way where getting up was going to get